fucking love it, bro. That is so badass.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
So badass.
Cool. I like it.
How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. I would say something about missing you last week, but I see you every fucking day.
Yeah.
And we did do a show last week. We had some problems come up, and the audio just wasn't the product any of the three of us want to put out, so we just pulled it, you know. We're 3 episodes into a fucking forever show, so we're back, though.
Yep, back. Good fights this past weekend.
Did you watch them all?
Yep.
Good. Favorite fight of the night?
Oh, favorite fight was Ricky and Brady.
Ricky and Brady.
Yep.
The tough guys.
Yeah.
So badass, dude. So badass. Do
Yeah.
you are you happy with who won tough?
Yes.
What'd you think about the season?
There was room for improvement,
I agree.
but it was good.
I like that it was a little shorter. I like that it wasn't 28 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 13 or maybe less.
Yeah, it did seem like it went by really fast.
With 2 divisions in there, that's hey, I heard someone say this. It might have been Brian Ortega or something, but he was like, I'll tell you this, man, all that shit we shot, he's like, ain't none of it in the show. I mean, it's just fights. He said they don't even put the fights in order. It's crazy what they can do with movie magic. And it was a tight season, which I prefer.
Yeah.
I don't like the episodes where they drag, and back in the day, episodes where it was just like drunk fucks at the house. That's not my style.
No, I like to see the fighting.
Yeah.
I do like the one weight class better.
I think that's over. Dana made a comment the other night. I think it's 2 weight classes from here on out.
One thing I loved about the one weight class was, so a couple seasons they did 14 instead of 16 guys.
Mm-hmm.
So two impressive losers.
Oh, yeah.
Got to fight in a wild card.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was cool.
That was cool.
It gave you a little more incentive to go out there and actually fight.
Yeah, and like you told me 2 months ago, with 2 divisions, there's only 8 fighters per division. Well, that's not very many fights.
No.
Like when you were explaining that to me, I was like, oh, shit, man, how many episodes is this show going to be? 6, 7, 8? But it didn't go on too long. I will say the last 2 weeks I didn't watch like until way later. I was watching right before the fight Saturday too. I obviously knew who was in the finals.
Yeah.
So I did kind of lose my way there towards the end, but not because the show wasn't great. Just I had other shit going on, and there had been a lot of fights and some Friday night fights and some boxing and just different. I just didn't have time.
Yeah, kind of a heartbreaker that the guy that really made it to the finals didn't get to fight in the finals.
Yeah.
Trey Sean.
Yeah, I didn't like that motherfucker.
No, he wasn't my favorite. But
That second,
I did have him going to the finale.
I remember, but that second or third episode of the season, he was fighting. I don't remember who.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
But he kept going, hey, we cool, bro, but when...
Nothing but respect, man.
We
Nothing
getting
but
that cage,
respect.
bro. We getting that cage. And he's just so fucking cringy. I immediately hated his guts. Religion, all the cool shit he was doing, whatever aside, I was just like, I hope you fucking lose. And then he went on all the way to the end. But the cool thing about that is that Gilbert was, 10-day notice?
Yeah, I think so.
So, yeah, and he looked all right.
Yeah, he looked fine.
I mean, he lost, but I was glad he made it in. His whole story with the brothers, all 3 losing at different seasons of TUF. Like, what are the odds of that?
Right.
If I ever got on a show like TUF, what are the odds that Dalton's going there 4 years later? It's just, whoa, cool, 3 brothers on one fucking show. But it was all right. Brian Battle, I guess, is the guy that beat him.
Yep, Brian Battle.
He was my least favorite the whole season besides Trey Sean.
Yeah, I would just... And it's terrible for me to say this because he won. I was just never impressed with him.
Yeah, me either. I just didn't like him.
Straight GSP style, I was not impressed by your performance.
He's a good fighter.
Yeah.
He's got good striking and good grappling, what have you, but I just didn't like him, man. And I hate to say that because he was super nice on the show, and his stuff with his family, his story was sweet, whatever, but fuck him.
Yeah, not my favorite.
And since we're already on TUF, the 135 guys.
That was an amazing fight.
That's one of
the best fights I've seen in a long time.
By far my favorite fight of the night.
I will say I dogged the judges all the time, but that was one of the times I was glad I wasn't a judge.
Me too, because Brady Heatstand, is that his name?
Yeah.
He took Ricky down immediately and controlled him like the whole first round. but Ricky was fucking him up from the bottom.
Beating the ever-loving shit out of him.
Yeah, throwing elbows.
Yeah, just like Tony Ferguson.
He looked like Tony fucking Ferguson. And then round 2, I think Ricky took that round pretty handily. I don't think he got controlled the whole time. I'm not remembering.
No,
it was a 15-minute
it wasn't as bad.
But when the fight was over, I was like, oh no, this is going to be like a split to the
I
wrong
really
guy.
wondered who it was going to go to, because obviously Brady had a crap ton of takedowns.
Yeah.
And if we go back to the TJ fight.
Oh, yeah, TJ only won off the takedown. Not even takedowns. He was just controlling.
Yeah.
He was just on
is this going to be something of that nature where he got the shit beat out of him, but, well, he was taking him down.
Right.
So
they got it right.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Yeah, and not only did they get it right, like, professionally, but when Ricky got on the mic afterwards, he's a fucking character. Like, they're going to love him. They're going to try to push him. And,
for sure.
I think that's cool. He's a cool dude.
He was singing karaoke.
He was singing at the post-fight presser.
Was it Freebird or something?
I don't know. I tuned out or I fast-forwarded to Dana White. I only want to hear what that big red motherfucker has to say. You know, like, it's my favorite part of the fights almost is watching Dana talk shit after. But I'm glad TUF's over. Like, it was getting to be a chore to tune in, but it's a good show. I'm glad it's back. It ended last Tuesday, Monday. What night was it on? We always watched it on Wednesday.
Yeah, so it was on Tuesdays.
It was on Tuesdays. Now Contender Series is back.
Yep.
Now I didn't watch last night's. I will watch it because I don't ever miss the fights. I'll watch it sometime before Saturday. But Contender Series is cool, dude. It's like a. You'd think it would eliminate TUF because it's like the best fighters in the country that aren't signed to any. Not just UFC, not signed to Bellator, PFL, fucking Cage Fighter Fury, whatever. Mm-hmm. Well, they're doing these Contender Series, like 6 episodes with 5 fights on each one twice a year. I mean, that's a shitload of fighters. You'd think you'd be running thin on guys for TUF, but, I mean, it is the fastest growing sport in the world. There's, like, look at me, dude. I'm going to even a place like that now to train. Like, anyone can do it. Everyone is doing it. Like, there's always going to be fighters.
Always.
This next generation of fighters is going to be like Cohen wants to go up here on Main Street and do the
karate.
Yeah, the karate.
Yeah.
It's not karate. I feel so rude. I can't think of what it is, but the next wave of fighters is going to be these people who have been training since they were 4, who are the best on the planet when they're 19, and like I'm excited to see that happen because. You know how it was. We talked about it the other day. Like, used to, it was like a great wrestler. Well, now you got to learn to punch, and maybe we'll get you in the UFC and win a belt.
Right.
Now it's the total package in every discipline, which is how I prefer it. And it's going to get juicy, man. But Contender's back on. It'll be on for the next month or so. And, dude, there's William Knight, the guy we were talking about a couple weeks ago, came from there.
Some good people.
Last fall.
Sean O'Malley.
Sugar Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a Contender Series guy. And there's a lot more than that. I mean, so many of them make it.
Adriano Yanez.
Yes, I like him. Adrian Yanez. Yeah, I like him. And those Koshi brothers that are wrestlers, we watched them a couple months ago fight. They're both in the UFC now. And on that 185 fight, it was kind of one-sided, but on the 135, Dana said they're both.
Oh, yeah.
Ricky got the trophy and the 6-figure contract, but Brady is fighting in the UFC.
Oh, yeah. How do you not? That's like
which is cool.
Like the Forrest Steffen stuff.
Yeah.
You got to give it to them both.
Yeah.
You got to.
And like you said, your boy that you rooted for, Andre, he was on that card.
Yeah.
He lost in the Ultimate Fighter weeks ago. He fought Michael Gilmore, that guy that filled in.
The step in.
Yeah, that guy, the guy you talked about, stayed in Vegas, quit his job. Yeah.
And I had a feeling they would give him something.
I did too. You know, at least a couple $10,000
I didn't think
fights.
they'd have him fight Andre, but.
Dude, I didn't think he had a chance. He lasted a lot longer than I thought. I mean, he didn't look great.
No.
Andre got a third round.
But Andre didn't look as great as I expected either.
I think he's like I was talking about William Knight, I think he just gasses. I mean, maybe it's the muscle he packs. I don't know what it is, but the dude starts so fierce. And he don't blow his load. He's not like all out at the beginning, but he starts off strong and then just fucking dwindles.
Fades really fast.
Whenever he got the third round TKO, I was shocked. Like when round 3 started, I thought he's got him a nice decision here. He'll lay on top of this dude and get a 10-8. But he ground and pounded him, got the win. But
yeah, I would be curious to know his struggle to make 85, if it's tough or not.
Right.
to
Yeah,
see.
you mentioned that. Is he 190 and
Yeah,
takes
I
a
mean-
shit, or is he 208 and cutting?
Yeah, like his 170 an option because he sure looks small standing next to Gilbert
Yeah,
and Brian Battle.
you're right. You're right. He might be in that Gastelum situation.
Right, where he's just in between.
Yeah, he's in between. He could, if he really, really, really... You know, Kelvin gets a lot of shit because they say he could make 170, but he's not willing to do it. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. He does look like an odd 185, or he's pudgy. And
Right. Like
Andre's
5'9".
cut, but, you know, I am curious what he cuts from because the dude's a monster, but he just ain't... I don't know. He ain't putting it together in the cage. I don't know what it is, but...
I'm scared we'll see a another Uriah Hall.
Yeah, that
Someone
may
that
be.
had all the potential in the world, but just couldn't all get it together.
Well, there's always these classic tales of guys we'll never know the name of who whoop everybody's ass in the gym.
Mhm.
You know, they whoop the Uriah Halls, they whoop the Darren Tills, the Brunsons, but then there's something about it they can't. When the lights are on, they can't perform. And maybe he's one of those guys. Maybe he's a savage in the gym, but you know, when he's in the cage, he just... I mean, he's winning. And what we saw him go, 2-1 on TUF, and then now 1-0 in the UFC. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
what the future holds for him.
Okay.
He'll definitely get a couple more fights.
Yeah, at least one. At least one. Okay. Main event. Giga versus Edson. What'd you think?
Giga looked good.
Giga looked good.
Yeah,
But Edson looked good.
he did.
Going in to that second round, I was like, holy shit, Edson's going to do it? Like, all I cared about was under 4.5. Everything was dead. I was not rooting for anybody money-wise.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, my God, Edson's going to get this guy. And I was kind of jacked about it. Just Giga, man. He looked like he was playing 4D chess. Like, he would eat a couple to give the good. And, dude, he overwhelmed him.
He did. I was really pulling hard for Edson. That's who I wanted, but
He didn't look outmatched.
no, he didn't.
No, he'll be back stronger
Giga's-
than ever.
Giga is just better than what I thought he was.
He's good.
For sure.
dude. He was like a 40-win, 5-loss kickbox champion. I mean,
It's always at this point, like right in here, where you got a guy up on the rise, and then he runs into someone like Edson. Like, okay, now it's time to see, are you really as good as what we're making you out to be?
right.
And he is.
He is.
He is, for sure.
He got a knockout in the third.
Yep.
And I don't know about after the fight, man. He called out Max.
Yeah, not
I think
not
Max,
exactly who I would have thought.
Maybe Max would win a decision, but Max would not lose, I don't think.
No.
I mean, anything can happen in a fight. We always say that. Maybe he does take a bad shot and gets TKO'd, but if they fight 10 times, I think Max wins nine of them.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe that's too big of a step, but that's what he needs to do. He beat a legend. Now he wants the title challenge, you know? He wants to weigh in for the title fight.
Yeah, I did like that.
I did too.
I did. I like that
That
a lot.
fight's
And,
24 days away.
Yep.
So this would have been 5 days ago. So
He had a month.
he had a month. He took some shots.
There was one guy that really comes to my mind that I would like to see Giga fight. And it ain't Max Holloway.
Who is it?
Zombie. Korean Zombie.
Did Zombie win his last fight?
Yes, he did.
And who was that?
Dan Ige.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
Zombie's 1-1 in his last two. You know,
That's
he
right.
lost to Ortega. Then he come back and beat
But Zombie's a legend. 1-1 doesn't matter when you're Korean Zombie.
here's the perfect place for Chikazier. Because I don't see them giving him Max Holloway.
No,
I'm
Max-
sorry, I don't see it.
Max has got a fight that's been announced and pulled and then speculated to still be happening with Yair Rodriguez. So
Yeah, I think as far as him going to the top, that's your best option right there.
I would love Giga versus Korean Zombie, but after his call outs, you know, after the way Dana blew him at the presser, I feel like that would almost be a step down. Not in competition, but from what you were calling for. Now I got to fight Zombie? What about filling in for the title? What about Max Holloway? So I would be anxious to see if Giga would even take that, or if he'd say, no. He said it in the cage, title eliminator or title shot. So maybe he sits around for a few months.
Yeah.
145's juicy, but this whole Volkanovski-Ortega thing is fucking... It's slowed to a crawl. They were supposed to fight in the winter. Now it's almost fall, bro. Like, we got to get this fight once this happens, I'm very curious to see what 145 does, because let's say Volk wins. Let's say that because he's the champion and we're wanting to speculate a little bit in the future. Let's say Volk beats Ortega. What's the next fight for Volk?
Max.
It's Max.
Unless for some wild reason.
Giga beats Max?
No, Max loses his next fight.
I mean, eventually he's going to lose. Eventually he's going to start losing. It happens to all of them.
It does. But after his performance against Calvin Kattar.
But let's not forget, bro.
He's an animal.
Max Holloway's 29.
Max Holloway should be the champion right now anyway.
Yeah, and he's young. People think because he's been fighting for 10 years that he's 38 years old. He's 29 or some shit. He's a young man.
Yep.
And he's the best boxer in the UFC. I mean, I know that's his little thing he says, but he is, dude. Like, when he was looking at the commentators, he's looking at the commentators with his hands behind his back, going, I'm the best boxer, while Calvin Kattar's like fucking swinging for him. What a savage, dude. I was jumping up and down like I didn't give a fuck who was looking. My kids might have been running around. I was like, whoa! I mean, dude, it was the coolest shit I'd ever seen.
Yeah, I remember. I came to your house and watched that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was the coolest shit I'd ever seen, man.
One of the biggest ass whoopings
in
I've
the
ever
daytime on ABC, like kind of weird, epic fight. Some of that Abu Dhabi shit.
Yep.
Which reminds me, this weekend's fights start at like noon. Anybody that's going to watch them, like I noticed today, they start at noon, main card at 3. So, but yeah, when they're in Abu Dhabi, they do some weird times. I don't know what's going on. They're in Vegas right now, but I just think Max is a cut above everybody in the division. Now, I know that sounds stupid because Volk is 2-0 against him, but those were both tight decisions. Neither were finishes. We're talking about the guy who finished Aldo twice. Like, this dude is a fucking savage, and the second Volkanovski fight, everybody on the planet agrees that he got robbed. The only guy that doesn't say that's Volk because, fuck, I wouldn't say it either. Well, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It was a tight fight. But, you know, I think Max beats Yair. I think Max beats Giga, pending any freakish. We've all seen the McGregor-Aldo thing where it's a one-shot. You know what I mean? Like, it happens. Flukes happen.
It happens.
But I think Giga's out of his depth calling out Max.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
That's why I really wanted to see the zombie fight.
I wouldn't mind seeing Edson fight zombie.
That's it. Regardless who won this fight, I wanted them to fight zombie.
Either one would be a badass fight.
Regardless, because
Edson,
zombie's a striker.
Yeah,
both of these guys. Regardless who won, I already had it in my head that I wanted them to fight zombie.
Yeah. And Edson had the badass knockout of Burgos. Then this, which he lost no clout. It was a back and forth, and it was a TKO. He didn't get out colded. He even threw his hands up like, "What the fuck, man?" I was, like maybe I was letting him gas, but he was eating a few shots. So take a little time, get you a big name. I don't know what he's ranked right now, but he's still up there.
Yeah, 9.
It was 10 versus 9,
yeah.
so he probably didn't drop. Giga probably jumped him.
You could always have Edson fight Calvin Kattar.
Yeah, Kattar's due back. It's been
January.
It's been 9 months since Max fucked him up. Oh my god,
badly.
Okay, anyways, let's move on here. Another big fight Saturday was Kevin Lee, Daniel Rodriguez. I think I told you this, but I'm going to say it on air. Had Kevin Lee not choked, I would have won over $3,000 Saturday night. I had Kevin Lee in every parlay I made, money line. I had him by submission in one parlay. And he lost early on, so I quit following him. After the fact, when I got on DraftKings and saw that was the lone red check mark, I had all my bets screenshot. It was like 1347 winnings, $1,000 winnings, 800 winnings. I ended up winning 5. But Kevin Lee fucking sucks. I will never bet on that piece of shit ever again. And it's not just over that. This guy is a top 5 fucking lightweight, welterweight, wherever you're going to fight at. He's had 18 months off, whatever. This guy's been calling out Khabib for 5 years. Daniel Rodriguez, who is a great up-and-coming prospect. I like the guy. But he's a fucking unranked fighter. He destroyed him. He dominated all 3 rounds.
D-Rod was a step in at that.
Yeah, he filled in.
Yeah.
That's right. And he whooped Kevin Lee's ass. Now, there was a moment in the beginning where Kevin was like going for sub. And I was like, dude, I was texting you. I was going, oh my God, if this happens, bro. And whenever the round ended, I thought, I hope that piece of shit ain't gassed. And he was.
He was.
He was. And D-Rod just dominated. I don't even think he lost the first round that he was getting sub-attempted on. But, if you're calling for Khabib and, you're saying you got robbed against this guy and, D-Rod should have been easy money. Should have been a first-round finish. Like, I made the bet with a kid at work that likes to put 20 on fights just thinking, oh, that's easy money. I put it in every parlay I built. Probably the biggest letdown for me in a long time. Just how did he? The night before the fight, he was going, I feel like I'm already a top 5 welterweight.
That was the one fight on the card I was the most sure about.
Ditto.
Yeah, like, I know we talked a little bit on the phone.
Yep.
And I said if I had to put anything, it'd be Kevin Lee. I think he did it right this time. He took the time off.
That's right. 18 months?
Yeah, built the muscle up. Last time he kind of rushed it a little bit.
I agree.
And ran into RDA, so losing to RDA is no big deal.
Right. And when his last loss was the champion, Oliveira. He wasn't the champion then.
Right.
But I don't hold that against a guy.
No.
I mean, Oliveira's a killer, But this really, Dana after the fight, Dana White's a dick, and he's harsh with his words, and he don't mince words. He don't suffer fools, is what I mean to say. Mm-hmm. But when you got a young stud like Kevin, he don't ever talk about getting rid of him. And he made it very clear, yeah, we'll figure out what's next for him, whether it's here or elsewhere. Like, he's even fed up with this guy's shit.
Yep.
And don't forget, after the Oliveira loss was the last fight before COVID hit and they pulled all the fans, this dude was crying on TV in the backstage, like, saying, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to retire at 27 years old after a tough loss. He's a pussy. I don't like him.
No, I never have liked him.
Bro.
Ever since all the way back to the Michael Chiesa stuff and
the
the stupid presser.
I never
liked him.
Have a problem with him really until Saturday night, man. He bummed me out. He did. He disappointed for sure.
Kevin Lee versus Mike Perry.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah. I like that.
Loser leaves.
Loser leaves the UFC. Now that sounds far-fetched, but that's something that happens sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you go back and you look at Uriah Hall fighting Chris Lieben. I mean, that was all but said that loser's leaving.
Right.
And it doesn't necessarily have to happen. Maybe that's the motivation that the guy needs, that both of them go in there.
And if it's a fucking war.
Yeah, fight of the year.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
You get to stay.
Fight of the year, goddamn. If it's a badass fight, top 5 of the year. But I think the biggest shocker, other than Kevin, was Gerald Meerschaert.
Oh my God,
that's
Gerald
the dude,
fucking Meerschaert.
Yeah, that's the dude Chimaev one-shotted.
Yeah.
And the dude's been dead ever since.
Yeah.
He's had a victory since then, but it wasn't very, I don't know how to say, it wasn't like flashy.
Yeah. He didn't turn no heads.
This dude, I put Gerald in every parlay I made. This is why they all paid so much. So the guy he's fighting was a minus 600 favorite. Some Russian killer that's a knockout artist.
Yeah, he stopped Joaquin Buckley.
Yes.
Yeah, he stopped that hype train.
That's right. And I don't know why. I just got it in my fucking head. No insight. I wasn't studying tape. I was like, Meerschaert is going to sub this motherfucker. He's going to be scared. He's going to get caught. They're going to go down, and he's going to get him. And it didn't quite go that way, but he sure as fuck did, dude. Meerschaert by sub was plus 1,000. I had it in everything. And it hit, dude. It was awesome. I don't remember what he got him with. Rear naked. But
yep.
I like Meerschaert. I'd like him to fight Chimaev again. Like, that haunts him.
Yeah, that'll haunt him forever.
And the video is embarrassing of him just like walking back scared for 21 seconds or whatever it was, and then one punch, and he's lights out. But he's rebuilding himself, and he's a good middleweight. I don't think he's ranked. But,
no, I don't think so.
But I'd like to see him do well. Kind of like Chiesa. They remind me of just a guy that maybe slips up in the big moment, but I want to see him do well. Like Gerald Meerschaert, he looks exactly like an old friend of mine, Jerry Wheeler. And Jerry, we used to call him Gerald too. And just when I see him, I feel endeared towards him because he looks like an old buddy of mine. But other than that, there was a couple knockouts on the prelims and a sub.
Yeah, a 17-second knockout at that.
Yeah, that Abdul Razak Al Hassan. He's done that before. Mm-hmm. I think, who's that fierce dude that came out mean mugging him, one-punched a guy? Big old black dude with like fangs on his mouthpiece. Can't remember who that was. It might have been Razak.
May have been. It sounds like him.
I don't remember, but I remember the guy did this one-shot knockout, and then like a month later had a quick turnaround on a pay-per-view where you were with me. Mm-hmm. And when these guys were walking out, we were like, holy fuck, who was going to win this? And he like knocked the dude out. He got knocked out like it was nothing. I'll have to look into that. I can't remember that.
I can't remember off the top of my head. We watched so many fights.
Yeah, DeChirico, he also got Buckley. So you say stop the hype train, but Buckley seems to struggle when he gets
That's who I was talking about, DeChirico.
Oh, okay,
he stopped the hype train.
Yeah, he Buckley's hype was a fucking flashy kick.
It was.
But
man, it blew up.
I know, but that whole fight was back and forth with him and Impa. Like, you never knew. No one was pulling away.
You know, in all seriousness, no, Joaquin's fight with Kevin Holland wasn't that bad.
No,
he held his own great.
Yeah, he held his own until Kevin, it was just one shot.
Mm-hmm.
It was just boom. And I remember him just falling straight back like it was just lights out. Kevin, I can't wait for him to come back, dude.
I know, I'm so excited for
another
him.
one. Justin Jacoby knocked out Darren Stewart. I was wrong on that, but
me too.
I did. Only thing I bet on it was under 2.5 rounds, so I hit that too. Jamal Emmers took Pat Sabatini to the ground and was going for like a knee bar, heel hook, and just rolling around for 10, 20 seconds. And the other guy got him. Like I was telling you today, like when you go for that leg, you're giving yours in return. Mm-hmm. You're just assuming that I'm going to twist your ankle faster and harder because I've got the better position. Dude fucked around and gave that guy a sub. I don't know if he got any bonus, but other than that, it was a good card, but the main card was really the highlight of the night for me.
Oh, for sure.
The tough stuff and the main event.
Yeah, Ricky and Brady, that just by far best fight of the night.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing.
I can't wait to see Ricky back.
Yeah.
And bantamweight's a bitchin' division to have a good up-and-comer in. And Sugar Sean, if he's going to be unranked forever, I'm going to keep calling for him to fight these other cool unranked up-and-comers.
For sure.
Bro. But that was that. We got fights this Saturday. Not a super juicy card, but people like us will watch every minute of it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the main event's good.
It's the best fight on the card.
By far.
Who you got?
We're going to disagree.
Well, before we get going, Keaton said, you still want to bet that fight this weekend, Dan? And I was like, yeah, we can do 20, bro. He's like, well, you said one of them was a superstar. I was like, yeah. Because I told him it was a coin flip, that I didn't know who I wanted. He's like, can I get the superstar? I was like, you got it. So I officially have Brunson with Keaton.
Okay, well, I would take Till.
Would you?
Yeah, I think so.
I think Derek is going to get him.
If Derek gets him down, for sure. I think it's going to be a lot of the same story of Gastelum and Cannonier.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a step down.
It's a striker versus a wrestler.
Yeah, if the takedowns can be stuffed, I've got Till.
But what's Darren Till do more than anything else?
Run his mouth.
No. In the cage. He disappoints. Do you not agree?
Not totally. I thought he put on a great performance against Robert Whittaker.
Oh, yeah. He beat Robert?
No.
Exactly. He sucks.
No, fuck, no.
He
don't suck.
I don't think he sucks. I think Derek's to take him down, try to wear him down. And I'm sure it'll be just like when Brunson fought Holland. I bet Till tags him a couple times where we're going, oh. I feel like Derek Brunson knows this is it. Dude, he's looked bitching lately. Like, he killed the Kevin Holland hype train. What was his other big win? Brunson had
Edmund
Shabazian, another fucking up-and-coming.
Disappointment.
No. Yeah, you could say that. Or you could say Derek Brunson's a bad motherfucker.
I'm going to keep rolling with the disappointments.
I don't know. I got Brunson this one. I like Darren. My brother loves him, so I kind of like to root for him. But, dude, all he does is fucking... What was he, 25 when he got the title fight with Woodley?
Yeah, they pushed him too soon, I think.
Maybe they did, but, he was begging for it.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was,
and
but they pushed him too soon.
And since then, he hasn't done a whole lot. I mean, he's not had very many fights. That feels like forever ago that Woodley was the guy defending the title. I couldn't tell you 3 fights he's been in since then. Whittaker?
He beat Gastelum, Whittaker, and lost to Masvidal. Masvidal was his last fight at 70.
Yeah, he lost to Masvidal, lost to Whittaker, and beat the other one you said, Gastelum. Everybody beats Gastelum, it seems.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, okay, we do disagree there. I like Darren, and I hope it's a badass fight. But something in me, man. I hope Brunson's got that bleach blonde hair, and I hope he fucking whoops his ass.
I just can't get behind Brunson. I don't know why.
I hated him whenever he was talking shit to my main man Izzy and trying to get that title shot, but he's right there.
Maybe it's just because he beat Holland. I don't know, because I really liked Kevin Holland.
I love Kevin,
and maybe that's why I dislike him so much. But
yeah, but I don't know. I don't feel that way. I don't have to. I spent a whole year like, this guy's my new favorite. I hate that guy. He beat him. Now I'm just accepting that I love all these motherfuckers. I root for who I root for, but man, I just want to watch them fight. If they all sucked, or if they all got filthy rich like we talked about, and there weren't badass fights all the time, I'd be devastated, man. I just feel like Darren Till's got 10 more years of this. He's got plenty of time. Maybe not if he keeps choking, but I want Brunson to win. I want Brunson to get that Whitaker Adesanya winner and get that last chance at the belt. Now, he ain't going to get it from Izzy, and he ain't going to get it from Robert. But he keeps fucking rocking these dudes, and who knows?
He is slipping
He's better right now than he was when he fought Izzy the first time.
For sure.
He's better right now than he was a year ago. I mean, the dude looks good.
He looked like a fish out of water fighting Izzy the first time.
I know. But that was one of those cool TKOs. Like, the dude wouldn't go. He wouldn't drop. Izzy was just fucking hammering him. Knees to the face. Boom, boom, boom. Lighting him up. And Brunson was just like fucking walking into the cage, back and forth. And I love that highlight. It just shows how much of a bad motherfucker Adesanya is, but how tough Brunson is. That's a tough motherfucker, man. And someone was talking shit about him. It might have been Kevin Holland. He's the guy you beat to get the title shot, right? So I'm gonna beat his ass to get the title shot. Not so quick, baby. Okay, co-mains, total bummer. Tom Aspinall versus Sergey Spivak. Sergey's that flabby-looking weirdo. I don't like him. I hope Tom Aspinall wins. Tom Aspinall's got a future in the UFC, bro. That's
For sure.
Badass heavyweight. Alex Perez, we love that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's fighting Matt Schnell. He ought to run through him like a fucking choo-choo train.
Should.
Alex Morono, that's the guy that fucked up Cowboy on short notice.
Mm-hmm.
Bald-headed weirdo. He's had a win since then, too, but I don't remember who it was against. He's fighting David Zawada. I don't care. Khalil Roundtree Jr., that's a fucking savage welterweight. Big old muscled up dude. Modestus Bukauskas, he's tough, too. It'll be a good fight. And then the big debut, Paddy Pimblett. Is he a cage fighter, Fury Championship, whatever?
Cage Warriors, yeah.
Cage Warriors champion.
The same place Connor came from.
Yes, and this is supposed to be a big deal. This is Connor 2.0. I mean, the guy's got hype. They've been calling for him to get in the UFC for a long time. He's already talking shit about Connor, even though they're in different realms.
Yeah.
But I'm very interested to see what's going to happen. A little side note on that. There was a rumor over the weekend that the fight was off because he couldn't get a passport in time.
Oh, wow.
There's some drama going on over there in Ireland or wherever the fuck he's from. So he's not leaving for Vegas until yesterday. Probably there by now. But that's got to take some toll on a dude. I mean, it's fight week. It's fight week.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be in the hotel shadow boxing, cutting weight, fucking not on a plane. He said on Monday morning Ariel Helwani's show, like, yeah, fuck yeah, I've been nervous. Worried they weren't going to give it to me. And Monday was a holiday over there. And so he couldn't get his passport till Tuesday. So wonder if that's going to affect him, maybe hinder his performance a little bit. He'll definitely use it if he loses. But I do kind of hope he wins. I
do too, yeah. Just see where it goes.
Yeah, me too. Okay, prelims, we got Julian Erosa. Love that guy. He's fighting Charles Jourdain. That's a killer. He had a badass fight a couple months ago. Marc-Andre Barriault's a badass Canadian middleweight. Total badass. Marcelo Rojo, he's a savage. That's that Brazilian savage. That's the opener. That'll be at noon or something. That's so weird. But
Crazy.
I don't got the kids this weekend, man. I'll probably get up at like 8 or 9, go run, maybe lift a little bit. I never lift during the work week because I'm always, dude, I go there. It would blow your mind how much I get done after work, like in a short period of time. Like I'm a procrastinator in life, but motherfucker, I'll go run 5 miles and pick up the kids by 4:47 when I don't even get to the gym till 4:08. Get home, dinner, boom, 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 boom. I can get it done. But on the weekends, I like to chill and take my time. And I do sometimes go up there and hang out for 2 hours in the gym, even if part of the time I'm just kind of walking on the treadmill, fucking reading my phone. So I'm going to get all my shit done, try to get home by about 11. I don't know what I'll do for food, but I will watch fights from noon till 5 or 6 and love every fucking moment of it.
For sure.
And Rojo starting the card is juicy. I think Jonathan Martinez is a badass too. I think he came from Contender, but I don't remember for sure. But what's this announced bouts?
Mark DeCasey's fighting Rafael Alves.
Is that this Saturday?
I don't think so.
Oh, this was just some news?
Yeah, just some news.
Yeah, Paul Craig had a fight. Get pulled, rebooked. Who's he fighting?
Man, I don't remember. I remember it got announced he was fighting someone.
I kind of like
and it
Paul
got pulled.
Craig.
I do. I like him a lot.
I saw him at weigh-ins one day with his fucking face all war painted.
Yeah.
Like Braveheart. I thought, who is this bad son of a bitch?
Runs over there, starts screaming in the guy's face.
Yes. I
Dude's
like
intense.
that dude. Paul Craig has fought some bad motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
Shogun and shit. Paul Craig, next fight. Gustafson.
That was it.
Alexander Gustafson.
That was it.
Gustafson made his heavyweight debut 6 or 8 months ago and did not look very good. And this is back at light heavyweight. So that's probably the way
Back
to go
where he
for
needs
him.
to be.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So how about news? We had a couple juicy tidbits before we get out of here. We have... Okay, kind of off topic. Chuck Liddell's boxing Mike Tyson for a Triller main event.
It's through Triller.
Yeah, of course. It's Tyson. But how do you feel about that?
Not good.
Because of Chuck's lights out stuff?
Yeah, Chuck just needs to quit fighting.
Yeah, dude. It breaks my heart because that is like one of the guys who built the UFC.
Yes.
If it wasn't for the Iceman fucking spinning around like this, fucking with the mohawk, like, may have never blown up how it did. But recently he had some fights not sanctioned. What was the trilogy?
Oh, Tito.
Tito.
Yeah, I don't remember what organization that was under.
It was through De La Hoya's.
That's it.
It went under already, but, you know, Chuck destroyed Tito twice.
Mm-hmm.
Made him his bitch twice. And got roped into this, let's fight even though we're 48 years old. Now, we all know how Chuck's career ended. I mean, he was getting his lights turned off real easy. I mean, like that, like random. Like jabs. And that's what happened in this Tito fight. I mean, he came out and he looked scared and he looked weird and he was kind of shaking back and forth. His stance was, he just didn't look like himself, and then bink, and it was over. What is Mike Tyson going to do?
Knock him out.
He's going to knock him out. And it breaks my heart that he's doing it. I hope he makes fucking $5 million and never fights again or whatever it takes, man. But I was not very happy to read that.
No.
Now, I heard Tyson was fighting Holyfield next. I don't know where that keeps going.
I don't know. I would love nothing more than the Iceman to knock him out, but
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't
That'd be cool.
see it happening.
If you know anything about Tyson's career, Holyfield was like the bane of his existence. Like, that was the guy he couldn't beat. So I'm anxious, even though they're 55 fucking years old, to see that. Triller or not. Let's see. Superfan tweets, how does this one go? Sugar Sean versus Izzy Adesanya. Sugar Sean replies, I get KO'd in the first. I like that. Okay, the drama. Gaethje. So Gaethje lost to Khabib in October. And then, you know, after a fight, you were off a little bit. Well, Khabib retired in the cage. Well, what happens? Gaethje should fight the #1 contender for the belt. None of this happened. We all know the story. The retirement got dragged out by like 6-7 months by Dana. Ended up, Gaethje talked a little shit publicly in an interview saying, hey, all the shit I do for this company, the fucking wars I put on, and you're talking about fucking Michael Chandler, one fight in the UFC, he's going to fight me for the belt? No. Talked a little shit and kind of got blackballed. Now, Dana said nothing but good things. Hey, we'll get Gaethje a fight whenever he's ready. But you know how that goes.
Yep.
So now Chandler fought for the title and lost. Gaethje's been on the sideline for a year, and now he's back. He's got to fight. He's fighting Chandler, the guy he didn't want to fight a year ago for the belt, said he didn't deserve it. But he tweeted something out, or it was in an interview, and I don't like reading on air, but it's an interesting quote. I want to read it to you. It says, this is Gaethje. I thought this was the most coveted title in the UFC when Khabib was around. it was turned into almost the laughingstock of the UFC overnight. When you had Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler fighting each other for the belt to be the best, when those two weren't the best guys fighting for the belt, it was me and Poirier. That's who it should have been. It was me and him fighting for the belt. Number 1, number 2. That's what should have happened. So this is him kind of pissing in Dana's face on TV again. He goes on to say, I like this one. In my mind, the ultimate goal was to beat Khabib and then Conor, and that was worth the risk. So that's the path I chose. But fighting McGregor could have been a possibility then maybe, but I'd say the chances are now 0% because I don't think he'll fight maybe once or twice more. And it won't be guys like me. It'll be money fights like Nate Diaz and George Masvidal. You know, favorable matchups for him. So Gaethje's publicly talking shit again. He's shitting on the current UFC lightweight champion. I just think it bodes poorly for him. If he slips up at all versus Chandler, he's in deep shit.
He's in bad, deep shit.
He was just set for a year because he talked a little shit and they were low. So, okay, well, fuck it. We'll give it to this guy. We'll give it to that guy. Mm-hmm. These guys want to fight. I agree that he should have fought Dustin for the belt.
Yep, I do too.
Because we've talked 1,000 times about this. Gaethje Ferguson gave Gaethje the interim. Mm-hmm. That's called having a piece of the title. The last guy to own a piece of the title, but not the real title, was Poirier. He lost to Khabib. So did Gaethje. Now, it was 2 years apart. It just made total sense for those two guys to fucking fight.
Yep.
You know, I just explained why it didn't happen, but now that Dustin's agreed to fight Charles in December, you said it was perfect timing. Chandler's fighting Gaethje the month before. This is lining up perfect. So this is lining up perfect. If Gaethje wants to fight Dustin for the belt, all I think he needs to do is beat Michael.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
Because I think that wide body motherfucker Dustin is going to walk through Charles like a train. He looks so much bigger than him, so much meatier than him. It has nothing to do with beating Conor twice. I mean, Conor's not what he was. He looks like a different weight class than Charles Oliveira.
He does. And, you know, his size has always been talked about his big shoulders. But when he was facing off with Conor those 2 times, it was like, God dang, he is big.
Yeah.
He's huge.
He was manhandling Conor.
Yeah.
Twice. I don't see Charles' fight going any different. Now, it's a fight.
It's a fight.
Charles just fucking, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. He lost a 10-8 round 1. His life dream, fighting for the belt, and he was getting destroyed, almost got stopped. 10 seconds into round 2, he knocks the guy out.
Yep.
Anything can happen. But, so maybe he gets a choke on Dustin. You know, maybe Dustin fucks around and tries to grapple him. I don't think so, but he tried to grapple Khabib, you know. So, I think it'll be a boxing match. I think that Oliveira will feel confident enough to stand and then until he doesn't.
Right.
And then I think
yeah, because he stood with Michael Chandler and that didn't fare too well for him.
That was the worst thing he could have done.
Yeah.
But he did it.
Should have took him right down.
I agree.
I mean, from the second they say fight, get him down.
The one fight before that, though, with Tony, he stood with him for a while, too, but that was the first 2 minutes. The other 13 minutes of that fight was them rolling around on the ground.
Yep.
So I don't know what Charles is going to do. I think it's a different fight for both guys. To Dustin, this is it. This is the life dream.
This is it.
For Charles, this is just, hey, I'm keeping my belt. He already had that special moment. He already had that crying in the cage. This will just be the first big paycheck of many to him. Because when you're a champion, you get points. But I just think I think Dustin's going to beat him. I think Dustin is the best 155er on planet Earth. I think that he's probably top 3 170er, even though he'll be a little smaller in that division. I think he's in his prime. He's peak. A couple years ago, I didn't think much of him. When he destroyed Dan Hooker and Fight of the Year contender last summer, I didn't think much of him. Maybe it's just because of McGregor's name, but after seeing what he's done to him twice now, I think that dude's a savage. I think he's got more confidence than he's ever had, and I think he is
riding high right now.
Yeah, he's going to whoop Charles's ass. So all Gaethje's got to do to fight the fight he's saying should have happened is beat Chandler. Mm-hmm. Chandler's a tough son of a bitch. He can throw with the best of them. He can grapple. But he's got a chin problem.
Yes, he does.
He does. There's no shame in it. It happens.
No, I mean, that wasn't his only knockout of his career.
No. He's been finished before several times, I think. But he's a finisher, too. I mean, he's one of those exciting fighters. You want to watch the guy fight.
I think it's going to be an amazing fight.
Oh, I do,
I was
too.
super jacked when they announced it.
We might have even been on air. I remember going, it's only 3 rounds. And as I was saying it, realizing how retarded that was, because it ain't going 10 minutes, let alone 25.
If it makes it out of the second, I'll be surprised.
I will be shocked. I bet the over-under is 1.5 on that, and I'm taking the under, even if it's minus 400.
Oh, yeah, it'll be minus money for sure.
For sure. But that's a big fight. I'm excited about it, dude.
That's one of them I'm looking forward to the most for the rest of the year.
Me too.
For sure.
Other than, I say Dustin's fighting for the belt December 6th.
11th.
December 11th.
December 11th.
November 6th?
November 6th is Usman Covington 2.
That's the one I'm the most excited about.
Yes.
Usman Covington 2, dude. I can't believe it's really happening. I feel like it won't. I feel like something will go wrong, an injury, a pullout.
I was shocked earlier when you had told me that not very many people are giving Colby a chance.
Well, when I say not very many people, we're talking, we're talking Reddit. We're talking other dudes like us, regular guys. But, yeah, no one's giving Colby a chance that's in my circle. And I get it. Usman's fucking finishing everybody. But if one thing's became very clear about Usman in the last 6 months, other than he's the CEO of EPO, it's that he don't want to fight Colby.
Yes, that is very
He's
clear.
made it very public that he'll do anything to not fight this guy. He was talking shit like, he's only got one win over Tyrant. I mean, he's making an ass of himself to not fight this guy. When this got announced, I was like, he took it. I didn't think he was going to.
Yeah, he was talking shit about lapping these guys, but yet I want to fight George Masvidal.
But he had Dana White back a few months ago when Dana was still doing every post-fight presser every week. He had Dana getting asked every week, yes, Colby's the number one guy. That is the fight. He's fighting for the belt, whether it's with Usman or an interim. Like, when you have to say that, the guy's trying not to fight. So, I was a little shocked when they announced it, but super jacked, dude. Co-main of that is Rose versus Waylay rematch. It's going to be epic.
Love it.
We'll talk more about this here in a few weeks.
Yeah.
But then there's Gaethje Chandler, Rockhold, Sean Strickland, Frankie versus Cheeto. Dude, it's going to be so badass.
The return of Ally Quinta.
Versus Bobby Green.
Oh, I know.
What a badass Bobby Green's become lately.
Really growing on me.
Me too. But our next pay-per-view, our next big one is Volk Ortega. We're both rooting for Ortega, but leaning Volk, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Valentina's going to destroy Lauren Murphy, probably. The return of Nick Diaz. I'm super excited. I've never seen him fight. I mean...
Yeah, and
he's been out 5 years.
The fact that he's plus money is great for me.
You think he'll beat Robbie? Robbie looked like shit against him.
Yeah, man, his last couple fights, he's looked like shit.
But he's a savage. He's a warrior.
If he digs deep and fights like he used to, it'll be a war.
I'm excited about that. Curtis Blades versus Jorginho and Andrade versus Calvillo. So... next pay-per-view is not for a few weeks. We have an off week next week, no fights, but we'll be here bullshitting about something. I'm hoping that I can get you to come to that MMA class. I understand you got some stuff going on, and soon you'll look into it. It's only been a few weeks, but it's changed my fucking life. Now, I don't want to say this to brag or anything. I still a little bitch, but goddamn, I could whoop that guy 3 weeks ago's ass, But guys, Vinci Martial Arts, it's right in North City. It is a fucking awesome place. They took me in, a big pudgy pussy, and made me feel like part of the team. It is not expensive. It's welcome for anyone. Kids can come. It's the most fun I've ever had in my entire fucking life, man. And now I am obsessed with UFC.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not obsessed with MMA. I hate Bellator. I hate PFL. I like UFC. But something about going there and getting to roll with these guys and to fucking hit pads and to fucking train. I just ordered my first pair of gloves. Like, it's real. And it's fucking fun. And it's everyone's welcome. If you're even on the fence, if you're fat and want to lose weight, if you're getting picked on and want to learn some self-defense, if you just love fucking fights and want to learn I went for jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I first inquired about it, I was hoping it was a place where I could earn a black belt over the next 15 years. It's not. It's mixed martial arts. It's everything. They teach you how to win a fight in a cage. That includes all disciplines. But dude, it's better than I ever thought. If I was going to Evansville at a place where they just did jiu-jitsu, I would be missing out because this shit is dope. I've met a couple awesome people, couple good friends, women. There's women in the class. Dude, everyone's welcome. Like, I just can't say it enough. Like, man, just go. Your first class is free. Try it. Everyone. Skylar, you, fucking my daughters. You got to do it, dude. Like, even if you just want to test your metal, man, there's just something so cool about it. Everyone's super respectful. It's just a blast. And I wanted to talk a little more about the last couple weeks training and stuff, but we're out of time. But, I mean, that place only having 8, 9, 10, 12 guys in there is crazy to me. I mean, there's 5,500 people in Carmi and a couple thousand in North City. How the fuck is that place not packed? Because it is a special fucking place. So Google it. Look it up. Get a hold of Brian Ramsey. I mean, that's the coach. And like I said, dude, he's made me feel like an equal part of the team. There's guys with fights coming up, and he treats me just the same as them, even though I'm only 3-4 weeks in. And it's really fucking awesome. And I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right.
One last thing. Tell me about Jake Paul.
Oh, Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley. What a letdown. What a fucking letdown. The short of it is Jake Paul outworked Tyron on the scoreboard. Never hurt him. Never once. Tyron landed maybe half as many shots, but every one of them was a fucking semi-truck. Tyron lost a split decision, which is a bit controversial. He also dropped Jake Paul and knocked him down. Jake caught the ropes like this. In boxing, that's a knockdown. If anything stops you from falling, it's a knockdown. In boxing, that is an automatic 10-8 round. They didn't count it as a knockdown. It should have been. If that 10-8 round's taken into equation, or let's say Jake Paul came back and won the round, it would have been 9-9. Tyron probably would have won the split decision. If Tyron would have won, there would have been a rematch. But now Jake Paul got out of there by the skin of his fucking teeth, and he's saying he ain't going to do another one. But it was disappointing. All of us MMA fans hoped Woodley was going to knock him the fuck out.
Yeah, definitely.
Not that Jake Paul's not doing great things. Like, dude, he's one of us. He's a guy that got on a microphone in front of a camera, and now he's a fucking multimillionaire, fucking boxing, fighting retired UFC fighters, whatever. Props to him. But goddamn, I wanted Woodley to send him to the shadow realm, man. And I was pretty disappointed. It looks like he's going to fight like Tommy Fury. That's Tyson Fury's little brother next. I won't care if that happens. I will care if he fights Tyron again. There should be a rematch. It was a split decision. Tyron won by 2 points on one card. Mm-hmm. Tyron lost by 2 points on one card. And lost by 5 points on one card.
Oh, wow.
How the fuck is that? So once again, sketchy ass judging.
Terrible scoring.
I would say Jake probably hit him with 60 fucking shots, counting jabs and body shots, straights to the body, and Tyron may only landed 30, but they were fucking. He was wailing him, dude. It was so fucking awesome. If you listened to the commentary during the fight, you would have thought Jake Paul won every round. It was very biased.
Oh, man.
So I was watching this fight companion with Brendan Schaub, and they were all like, who's winning, man? I think it's 3-2 Tyron. And it was like watching two different fights. So the commentators were so skewed towards Jake Paul, who was running the show. I mean, that's who's running the show. It's just, you watch that fight on mute, you'd probably give it to Tyron Woodley.
Oh,
you watch it with commentary, you're going to give it to Jake Paul. You're going to think he lost. He won every round. When it was all said and done, Tyron not finishing the guy is a loss in itself. So whether the judges gave it to him or not, that nobody fuck went 8 rounds with a former 5-time UFC champion. The sketchy part of it is Jake Paul probably cuts to 190 pounds and that's Tyron's heaviest if he's eating fried chicken and not working out.
Yeah.
You could tell.
Tyron fought at 20 pounds less than that.
Yes. Just like a month, 2 months, 3 months ago. Whatever his last fight was, he was fighting at 170. The size difference was disparaging. I mean, it was crazy to see.
The same way with Ben Askren. Ben Askren fought at 70.
Right. Ben Askren looked like he weighed 220 pounds in there. He looked like shit.
Yeah, I don't think he ever
It
went
wasn't
to the
like
gym.
that. I'm sure you saw the viral clips of him getting knocked out. It wasn't like that. But like I said, when you're Tyron fucking Woodley, the chosen one, like
The frozen one.
The frozen one. Yeah, that was his problem.
Yeah.
The rounds were 3 minutes. He'd stand there walking him down for 2 of it and never throw. And then he'd start bombing. And he'd land. But all the inactivity cost him the fucking fight. If he lost a split decision doing his new thing of not throwing, if he would have just been airballing some jabs, he would have fucking won a unanimous decision. He just don't do nothing. But I like Tyron. I hate what's going on with him. He's getting Isla Hart, Jake Paul tattooed on him. Like, they made a bet, and Jake Paul was like, when the fight ended, Jake Paul was like super respectful. He turned off the shtick. He said it's like such an honor to be fighting a legend like Tyron. Like, thank you so much. He's a fucking 5-time champion, a warrior. I think I proved myself by going toe-to-toe. Super respectful. Kind of made me not hate him. And then Tyron gets on the mic and goes, yo, fuck that shit. I want a immediate rematch. I was like, oh, my God, man. Shut the fuck up. And Jake Paul's like, get the tattoo and then we'll talk. And he goes, bet. And, like, made an ass of himself. The tattoo was already a deal. Made himself look retarded to fucking, I don't know. He's getting it tattooed on him, man. All for Jake Paul to consider a rematch. There ain't no, like, you do it and we're fighting. He ain't going to fight him again. He's pretending he wouldn't even fight Conor now. He's saying Conor needs to win a couple before I would even box. Like, come on, kid. You'd make $20 million.
You're fighting a guy half your size.
Yeah, Conor's 155 and Jake Paul's 194. Like in shape. Like 2 weeks from now, I'll probably weigh 215. You know, the most giant fight that they'll ever be able to do is Logan versus Jake. That's the most giant. The brothers fighting, but like I said, props to the guy. Like, if I could fight you for money and make millions, like we would definitely,
for sure.
Yeah, good for him. But I hate that he's talking shit about the UFC and all that drama. But yeah, the reason I forgot to mention is because it's not very legit when we're talking about all these savages fucking fighting to the death. But it was a real fight, and he pulled it off, man. Shocked the world, I think. It was like 50-50 coin flip on the betting line.
Oh, really?
When he fought Askren, he was minus 1,000.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, a lot of people thought Tyron was going to get him, myself included. I woke up at 10:30 that night, and it's like, oh, let's see if it's on, and it was on. I was like, okay, I'm going to wait here for a few minutes till Tyron knocks him out. Nothing. 25 minutes of boredom. But that's all I got this week, baby.
All right, man.
All right.